Hi, I'm Ted Drummo, and I want to share this document with you. This is the system I've created from using LinkedIn for the last 7 years. And I've gotten to the point now, if I follow these steps every day, I consistently get phone calls and appointments with prospects, which turn into clients. So I'm getting all of my new clients from LinkedIn using this process here. I don't run ads anymore. So let me go through it from the top. I call it LinkedIn Conversion Secrets. And the 4 steps, which is the methodology of my course, Linked Accelerator, it's all about getting attention, getting interest, increasing desire, getting them to take action. So it's the AIDA. And attention could be awareness. Interest is really where you're getting them interested in your product and service. Desire or decision is another way people phrase it. They make the decision that you are the right solution for their problem. And action is how you close them. So if you go down to the next level, it's really cold leads, warm leads, and then hot leads. So you think about it, you meet someone at a conference or you're at a networking event and you meet somebody. You shake hands, you exchange business cards, you exchange a few little pleasantries, and that's a cold lead. Another way is cold calling. If you're cold calling people, they're dead cold leads. If you're running ad campaigns and people are opting in to download a free report or a PDF, some kind of asset, that's a cold lead because they're not aware of you. It's a brand new introduction. So that's really step 1. So we optimize your LinkedIn profile and you stand out from your competitors. Why this matters is by default, LinkedIn takes your professional headline it's your job title of your current job. So they by default stuff that in there. So most job titles, over 90% of the professional headlines on LinkedIn are your job titles. If you search for accountant or a financial advisor, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see financial advisor at Merrill Lynch. Very boring. It doesn't stand out. There's hundreds of thousands of financial advisors on there on LinkedIn. And really, no one stands out from each other. It's really boring. So my goal is when people come across your profile, you stand out from your competitors, and it's a client-centric professional headline and your profile where it's all about them and their problems and how you solve their problems. Who are you looking for? What's their biggest problem? How do you solve that problem? That's what people are looking for when they see your LinkedIn profile. So if you have a profile that talks all about yourself, your accomplishments, your summary is written in third person, somebody's telling the story about you and your career success, that doesn't stand out from the crowd. If we all have some kind of problem. We're looking for solutions to our problems. And if we just happen to come across a LinkedIn profile and this person can help me, I'm going to view their profile, learn more about them, and then reach out to them to connect or send them an email or call them to talk and learn more about their services. So that's really, I don't know anyone else that teaches this. Everybody else teaches the opposite approach where talk about you, yourself, and Sales 101, what's in it for me? It's about what their problem is, not about what school they went to, what great companies I've worked for, all of my awards I've won through my career. That's great once people make that initial introduction, but think of it this way. You go to a networking event or you're at a conference, you meet somebody, you exchange business cards, and what do? They start talking about themselves. They talk about their big house and their really cool car and how much money they make. And then they try to sell you their services. What do? You back away. You run for the hills. You don't want anything to do with that person. And that's what people do on LinkedIn. They reach out and they start selling to you right away. And a lot of LinkedIn quote unquote experts teach this process where they go for the gusto, send out 100 invitations a day, send them aggressive messages, send them messages until they disconnect from you. I take the opposite approach. I want long-term clients and referrals. So I focus on building a long-term relationship. And it starts with your profile. And it's all about what we can do to help others. Now, step 2 is connections. That's really you start building your network. And then there's, some people want a nice small network. Other people want to build a big network. And really, I can't answer that question right now, what's right for you. But I find the more people I'm connected with, it puts me one step away from potential clients. So that really makes a difference for me. I grow my network. I don't accept all invitations, but I have a strategy. I want to connect with professionals who are my best clients. So I look at my client list. Say I have 100 clients, current clients or past clients. I look at the 80-20, the top 20% of my clients. 80% of my revenues come from that top 20%. So if they're coaches or consultants or financial advisors or insurance brokers, whoever that is, I want to connect with more of those people. And not only that, so say I'm trying to reach out to physicians or doctors. It's really hard to get a hold of them, so you have to take a step back and say, who else can I add to my network to introduce me to them? So if I'm looking for physicians, they're not on LinkedIn that often. They may have a profile, but they're not going to log in every day. They're way too busy. So you want to connect with attorneys who work with physicians, work with insurance people that work with these physicians. So make a list of all the people a physician would hire, bookkeeper, an accountant, a financial advisor. Connect with those people who can introduce you to their clients, and you set up referral networks that way. So next is authority. Step 3 is really the process of creating content that demonstrates your expertise. I work with a lot of small business owners and even large businesses, but they're all experts in something. If you're a financial advisor, you can share information with your network that establishes you as an authority. If you just create a LinkedIn profile and never log in and never update it, it looks stagnant. It's like if you built a website and never added new content. You had a couple pages and it was very static. People that come to it once, they'll never come back. But if you're creating content or sharing content or liking content of other people's and commenting on it, they perceive you as an expert. I really learned this when I wrote my first book. I always thought, oh my gosh, I'm a published author. And once you have a book like that published by a major publisher, people perceive you as an expert. I don't know that much more about LinkedIn than a lot of other people, but I've established myself as an expert because I'm always sharing good tips and good content about LinkedIn, and I speak all around the world about LinkedIn. So people just from that, they perceive me as an expert. And obviously I do. I'm on LinkedIn all day long, so I do know a lot about it. But now if you know 10% more than another person, they perceive you as an expert. So think about that. And then share content, like content, comment on content. You don't have to create it all yourself. Just share relevant articles in your industry on a consistent basis, which is also the key. You need to do this consistently. So step 4, that's where we start getting appointments. We want to start getting people on the phone. That's my goal, is to get people into a 15 to 30 minute conversation to get to know each other, get to like each other, just to trust each other, and see if it's right to do business with each other. So what I do is I send a lot of LinkedIn messages to people, and they're not those long salesy messages. My whole goal when I log into LinkedIn every day is to start a conversation with somebody. And I continue that conversation. Even if I say, happy birthday, ask them a question. Happy birthday, did you do anything exciting for your birthday? You know what? People will actually respond to you and tell you what they did on their birthday. So when you connect with people, send them an invitation to connect. Don't use the standard message. Write a little message, a short message, why you want to connect with them, why you think you want to add them to your network. And follow up with a welcome message after you connect. And this is where I see more and more people are somebody sent me a message recently. It took me 6 minutes to read it. And I only know that because I replied to the person and said, we just met. You're trying to sell me your services. Wouldn't it be better if you tried to build a relationship before you tried to sell me? This is a very long message. We replied and said, this is only 6 minutes long, and I get a lot of business from this. And he proceeded to send me the same message 4 times over a 2-month period. And I finally disconnected from him. I had to actually block. It's one of the 2 people I've ever unfollowed on LinkedIn and removed as a connection because it was so annoying. So what you want to do is one sentence. Dean Jackson comes up with a 9-word email. Search Google for 9-word email. It's a brilliant strategy for LinkedIn messages. You just put a short statement out there asking a question, and if people reply, they're a warmer connection. They're interested in what you just asked, so you reply back. And you know, a couple of back and forths with short messages starts a conversation, which often leads to a phone conversation. And if somebody's taking the time to message back and forth with you, obviously they've seen your profile, they're interested in what you do, and they want to learn more about you. And then you invite them to a 15-minute phone conversation, which I have put that into my welcome message too. I said, hey, if you have 15 minutes and want to chat, see if it's, if we can work together in any way, let me know. And it starts these little phone conversations. I get anywhere from 15 to 20 phone conversations a week just by sending a few messages every week or every day. So short and sweet and simple, non-salesy, just start a conversation, build a relationship, which leads to business, repeat business, and referrals. So my approach is very different. It's slow and steady, but you're going to get long-term customers that come back and buy over and over again, and they're going to refer you. If you're really aggressive and you send these aggressive sales messages, you may get a sale now and then, but what's going to happen is they're not going to refer you. They probably won't be a repeat buyer because they probably made the decision way before they were ready to make the buying decision, and they felt pressured to make that decision by you. So I'm in it for the long run. I want a long-term strategy, and this is the whole process I use every single day on LinkedIn to build a thriving business. So step 5 is once you get them on the phone, you get to that point, and whatever your closing process is, you know what you're selling, you know how to sell it. You're obviously really good at it because you've been doing it. So when you get them on the phone, start that conversation and follow your script. If you have a sales script, follow that script and just close them. And by that time they get to step 5, they already know you, they viewed your profile, you've had some interactions, they've read your content, they know you're an expert. So they're well positioned. It's a lot easier to close people when you take them through the 5 steps. So take your time, a little bit every day, be consistent, and this process will work like magic. For more free training, visit socialsellingminute.com.